Well, it's an honor to be with you today. The North Central Region Aging Network formed out of a need to strengthen extension curricular and educational demands around the topic of aging. By pooling resources, establishing interactive and consistent methods of idea sharing, working collectively to assess community needs, and launching professional development initiatives, network members effectively and efficiently address constituent needs across state lines. And early success and sustainability of NCRAN can be attributed to 4 lessons learned. And these are the things that I want to emphasize and share with you today. They include visioning, shared leadership, connection, and data-driven decision-making. As an extension professional, have you, not wanting to reinvent the wheel, have you ever wondered, does this resource already exist? And as extension professionals, we're committed to many different topic areas, but across from county to county and from state to state, we often encounter very similar challenges and human science and human relations challenges. We often use varying approaches and curricula to address these very similar constituent needs and interests. And one solution to improving and streamlining efforts is the formation of, to streamline these efforts is through the deliberative and strategic formation of mutually beneficial multi-state networks. And if you too are seeking to address constituent needs and interests and need the knowledge and expertise of an entire network of extension professionals, my hope is that you will find success in forming your own collaborative network. So today's topic is called Forming and Sustaining Your Extension Network, from Passion and Coincidence to Vision and Sustainability. I want to talk about the background of the North Central Region Aging Network, NCRAN, and the 4 principles of network success. The North Central Region was founded in 2016 during a meeting of North Central Region specialists that we attended in Chicago. And I think for the most part, we didn't quite know what to expect. We were attending this specialist meeting to get to know other specialists and to jumpstart some collaborations across state lines and between specialists who had similar backgrounds and interests. During one point in the meeting, a few of us found ourselves gathering around a table talking about aging and educational needs related to aging. We knew there was a tremendous need among network members to know more about aging issues. We knew there was a need among the people that we worked with to know more about aging issues. And that was our motivation for coming together and forming this network. I've got a colleague here on the webinar from the North Central Region, Chelsea Byers, and I've invited Chelsea to just talk for a few minutes about this first meeting and to share some thoughts with us about what she experienced and about how we came together and how this project of NCRAN got started and really jump-started. Go ahead, Chelsea.
Thanks, Jim. I think the first thing I'd like to say about it is, as we were all coming together around the topic of aging, I was thrilled to find other people passionate about the topic of aging. Sometimes I feel like we are left out of groups like, we're not as highlighted in like NEAFCS or other like NHOC, National Health Outreach Conference. And so it was just nice to find other people who are passionate about what we do when there aren't as many offerings when we go to some of our extension conferences. And so it was just really exciting to find other people with a similar background and passion in the topic area. I was also hopeful that we would learn from each other. We all have kind of different backgrounds or passion areas in the field of aging. So I don't know, Jim, if you shared yours, but some people are passionate about caregiving or universal design and housing, others, in brain health. There was just, different people at the table, and we can all learn from each other. And so we can do shared programming. No one had to be an expert. So when we had questions about a certain area, we could lean on each other. And so that was another thing that we found amongst our colleagues, is that we all didn't have to be an expert in one area, that we could reach across state bounds and, hey, I have a question about this, or I want to do some programming in this area, what have you done? And so I think it was just a really great start to know that we could partner and to learn from each other, and then find out what people have done, what works, and then we knew we could build on things and do better work together.
It's fantastic, thanks. And my expertise and my background and my interests are with grandparents and intergenerational relationships. And so that's something that's unique to me and that I bring to the network. So, well, thanks, Chelsea. Since that time, there have been some transitions in personnel. During our second meeting, we grew by 3 people. Iowa, South Dakota, and Wisconsin were represented by specialists. And later we had a network member retire. She was replaced by another specialist from her same state. That individual had also transitioned in her position and was replaced by yet another specialist from Michigan. Another specialist was hired by the state extension system in Iowa after our formation. She joined the network with a colleague from Iowa. And then most recently, we've added 3 new specialists, 2 from Missouri and 1 from Nebraska. And so we now have at least 1 extension specialist focused on aging, representing all 12 states in the North Central region. So we're excited about that representation and really what each person brings to the network. So during that first gathering in Chicago, we identified a couple of goals, 2 goals. The first is we wanted to create a toolkit of aging-related programs and educational resources. And second was to conduct a needs assessment to really find out what our extension professionals and colleagues across the region needed in terms of aging-related resources. So the needs assessment was completed in 2017, and I'll talk more about that in just a moment. And those results really actively inform our work. The online toolkit was also completed and launched in 2019. And it includes resources, curricula, a blog, monthly webinar archives, and so much more information and resources. And it really is formed around the major subject areas that we discovered and identified from the needs assessment. So the vision for our toolkit was a resource kit of a variety of programs, PowerPoints, videos, curricula, and other resources that we could carry with us from one instructional event to another, almost like a file folder holder that we could file things into and carry with us. We also envisioned something virtual where it could be something that would be almost like a clearinghouse of resources that we could go to and teach from, or that anyone who has access to this virtual toolkit can use as a resource, access, and then go to and take to a teaching event. So over the next few years, we gathered a number of resources, and we got a grant to pay for the creation of a website, an online toolkit, which I mentioned was launched just 2 years ago. And it includes a ton of resources. And like I said, they're all framed around and built around the nine subject areas that we identified in the needs assessment, from the needs assessment. The needs assessment was completed in 2017, and it captured responses from 1,028 extension professionals around the region. We wanted to know what aging-related needs our extension colleagues were seeing and experiencing. And we've shared the results of the needs assessment at conferences, webinars, published a journal article about it. And we've organized them into these 9 subject areas. And these, I've just added the icons here, but let me just read them off. Age-friendly communities and homes, caregiving, cognitive and emotional health, end of life, exploitation and protection, finances, health promotion, physical activity and nutrition, and finally, relationships. And we've learned a lot over the past 5 years of network collaboration. And I feel like we have improved in so many ways and in so many areas. And we've made these incremental developmental advances in I think what our impact has been. So I want to share with you 4 principles to help you form and sustain your own extension network. And these are things that we've learned, and these are principles, right? And these are things that we've learned that I think can help you as you form your extension network. Have purpose, share leadership, collaborate, and define success. So the first is have purpose. What is the purpose of your network? What improvements do you want to make? How will you accomplish your goals? Discuss as a group what mission your network has and is. What do you want to achieve? What are we had some early discussions about this and formed a committee around drafting a mission and vision statements. It was then brought back to the whole network for discussion. And eventually we adopted the statement that NCRAN is dedicated to improving the health and well-being of adults in later life through science-based strategies. The purpose also refers to the audience you're trying to reach and the strategies for reaching them. And it also refers to what you're not going to do to avoid being distracted from your mission. Share leadership. Do all members feel comfortable volunteering for responsibilities? Are members committed to the mission? Is each member's expertise valued? NCRAN has adopted a rotating co-chair model where each co-chair serves for 2 years, with co-chairs rotating off in adjacent years, and a new co-chair is elected each year. In addition, we have a number of committees that are led by other network members. And so that means that all network members can lead, all can participate on committees and do the work of sustaining the network and moving the network's efforts forward. We also value and respect the expertise, training, and experiences that each person brings with them to the network. Kind of like Chelsea mentioned, we're all different. We all have different appointments within our universities, and each person has so many different abilities and interest areas that each brings a uniqueness to the network. And so in a sense, we're all leaders and we're all doing the work together. Collaborate. How regularly can you gather? you know each other's research and teaching interests? Have you explored community needs? Meet regularly to stay connected with each other and with what's going on in each state and community. We have a monthly virtual meeting during which we discuss all sorts of things. We discuss upcoming webinars, challenges with marketing and outreach, updates and improvements to the website. And we also talk about projects we're working on so that we can share with other network members our interests, our teaching interests, and our research interests. And this has prompted a lot of different collaborations. We've had a grant writing collaboration. Several grant writing collaborations. Research project collaborations, conference presentation collaborations, journal article writing collaborations, website development collaborations, and much, much more. And really, whenever there's a question, just like Chelsea mentioned, I can ask a colleague and get a quick answer. We've also had a few in-person meetings, which have been great to energize and re-energize the work that we're doing. And I'll just say that for me personally, these collaborations have been a tremendous professional development benefit to me. Things that I've worked on with colleagues, things that I've led, are things that I can add to my experience and things that I can also add to my CV. Define success. What are your metrics for success and how do you prioritize your efforts? How will you share your successes publicly? Some of the network goals of what outputs you will produce. So set some goals, network goals of what outputs you will produce. Initially, we had those two goals, develop the toolkit and conduct the needs assessment. And since then, we've been able to incrementally improve the toolkit, the resources on the website, expand collaborations, improve network administration, and develop policies for the network and network members, and reach more and more people because we've adopted different technologies and worked together to share the information about what's going on in the network. And recently, we've released a 5-year impact report in which we've outlined our collaborative accomplishments and successes. This is the document, the impact report, and this is also available on the website. So as we close, I just want to reflect back for a moment, transforming a chance meeting of like-minded, enthusiastic extension professionals into a formal network that supports aging-related projects and programs has taken several years to develop and presented numerous learning opportunities for us. Each member of the network is committed to continuing visioning, respectful shared leadership, staying connected with each other, and relying on data to make decisions. And we believe this cross-pollination of personalities, expertise, position descriptions, positions that we work in, passion, and strategic direction will lead any collaboration towards success and sustainability. So I want to thank you for attending today, and I'm going to copy into, thanks Chelsea for adding that, accomplishments. I'm going to add into the chat just a brief presentation evaluation, and would like to open it up to questions that you might have or comments. I did notice we had some other NCRAN members on. I didn't anticipate so many, but if you have any thoughts or additional comments that you'd like to make, please go ahead and feel free and speak up, or any questions, go ahead. The floor is yours.
This is Debbie Matthews in Alabama. I'm not a member of your network, obviously. I'm down south. I'm watching because we have a nutrition and health council here in our county. I'm one of very few counties in the state that has such a thing. And so I was looking for ways to reorganize us. We've been really strong for a number of years, and then COVID hit, and we've lost momentum. And so I needed just help thinking and getting inspired about how to do this. Another thing is that I keep preaching the message that we need to be doing work in this area here in Alabama. We right now do not have a specialist in health with extension in Alabama. We are trying to hire someone. That position is open, and I'm going to be talking to that person and connecting her with you guys. So, or him with you guys. And I'm going to keep beating this drum. We need help. And I cannot get them to realize that here in this state. I guess maybe we're still stuck on just trying to address obesity. And that certainly needs to be addressed in Alabama. But I think aging and brain health all needs to be addressed. And Chelsea, I'm a fan of your work and have purchased your kit and your book. So thank you for your work.
Thank you. We appreciate it, Debbie.
You're welcome.
Well, Debbie, a couple of thoughts. And I think there have been times, and we may be in one of those times with our network too, where because of COVID, and we haven't been able to get together face to face. That was gathering face to face has been in the past was one way that we energized the work, because we were able to set additional goals and we were able to see each other and say, okay, I can take this on. And we were able to do some of that work together during those meetings, try to initialize some of those new goals. I'll also say that we have 3 new people that have just come onto the network. And I think with some new energy, they bring some new expertise that we haven't really had a lot of experience with. Two of them are on today. And so if Kelsey and Kristin, if you want to speak in just a moment, please feel free. If you don't, that's fine too. But so they bring a new expertise that I think will add some new energy and some new ideas really for how we can move forward. So those are just my 2 thoughts. Face-to-face or really meeting regularly, and then some new expertise, new energy, new people.
I'm willing to talk if you'd like. What would you
Great.
specifically like me to chat about, just to make sure I'm answering it correctly?
Well, why don't you tell us, because you're our newest member, Kristin, could you tell us a little bit about how you heard about NCRAN and what you bring to the network?
Yeah, so Kelsey and myself actually are the program managers for a program called Stay Strong, Stay Healthy in Missouri. It is a resistance training or strength training program for older adults, and we kind of manage it. It's actually gone nationwide. We've got about 3 other states that have adopted it, but we kind of manage that program. And we actually Googled just Stay Strong, Stay Healthy, and it randomly popped up on the NCRAN website. And so we were like, we should probably be a part of this. And we had a former colleague that had left the university. And so we joined it just to kind of get involved with, the aging network across the region. And we just had our first meeting with everybody last week or the week before. I don't know, we were very excited about it. Just other like-minded people like ourselves, but we do the falls prevention programming. So healthy aging, resistance training, Tai Chi, we do a matter of balance, and walk with ease through the Arthritis Foundation is really where our work is, but mainly physical activity itself.
Kristin, I recognize both you and Chelsea as being part of the leadership experience with NEAFCS.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. It's been such a fun project.
Yes, yes, it has. It's been really fun.
Thanks, Kristin. Thanks, Debbie, for that question.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. It's been a fantastic experience for us to get to know each other, get to know each other's expertise, and to explore collaborations. I'll just mention briefly something that Chelsea mentioned several months ago, maybe even last year, was a project related to life history writing that she does in Illinois. And I think, Molly, you do that with Chelsea or in a collaboration with Chelsea. Yeah. So I heard about this and was immediately intrigued because I'm interested in family history. It's an intergenerational family activity, genealogy, and something that I've studied in my research with grandparents. So I reached out to Chelsea, and we're going to be starting later this month a life history writing workshop once a week for 8 weeks here in the state of Ohio. And so, you know, the words being distributed, the flyers and so on, but it's going to be a great collaboration. Chelsea's going to co-teach it with me. This will be my first time through, and she'll do some of this training, and we'll also train some of our educators who are going to be participating as trainees, so that then they can also then take this same curriculum that Chelsea has developed and take it to their counties and offer it in their counties locally as well in the future. So excited about all sorts of these collaborations. Well, if there aren't any other questions, let me just check the chat, make sure I have checked everything. Okay. Well, thanks, everybody. It's been a pleasure, and have a great Labor Day weekend, and we'll see you on another webinar. Take care.
Bye, everybody.